When creatine enters your body, it does not act like a stimulant. It quietly changes how your muscles make energy. Your intestine absorbs creatine into the bloodstream, sending it toward tissues that depend on rapid energy supply. Most creatine eventually reaches skeletal muscle, where it joins a storage system built for repeated high-intensity work. Your muscles already contain creatine naturally because your body makes it from amino acids and stores much of it. Taking extra creatine increases that pool, pushing muscle stores closer to their personal saturation point over time. Inside muscle, creatine becomes phosphocreatine, a high-energy reserve positioned near the machinery that makes ATP. ATP is the immediate energy currency used for muscle contraction, but the amount stored inside muscle is surprisingly small. Phosphocreatine helps solve that problem by donating a phosphate group to ADP, rebuilding ATP for another contraction. Think of ATP as cash in your pocket, while phosphocreatine is money nearby for a rapid refill when demand rises. During a hard set, ATP demand rises sharply, and this recycling system supports repeated high-power contractions during training. Creatine does not create an instant energy rush. Instead, it supports intense efforts by improving rapid energy recycling. This matters most for short repeated bursts, such as lifting, sprinting, jumping, and other high-intensity activities. Here is the first distinction. Creatine does not build muscle by itself. It helps support better training over time. Over repeated sessions, that extra capacity can mean another rep, better training quality, or more total work with one load. Those small differences may seem trivial in one workout, but muscle adaptations are built from repeated training exposures. As muscle creatine rises, water also moves into the muscle cell, increasing intracellular water and making muscles look fuller. That is why body weight can rise after starting creatine, even before meaningful new muscle tissue has been built. This early increase is mostly water stored inside muscle, not a sudden gain in body fat or new contractile tissue. For some people, that fuller look is noticeable, but it should not be mistaken for instant muscle growth. Over the longer term, the bigger question is what improved training capacity can do to strength and muscle growth. Research supports creatine for improving strength and high-intensity exercise performance, particularly alongside resistance training. Muscle growth can also increase over time, partly because creatine can help support more productive training sessions. But creatine is not a shortcut around progressive training. Adequate protein, enough calories, or sufficient recovery. If your body already makes creatine, why would taking more of it help? The answer starts with muscle saturation. Your natural production and diet do not always keep muscle creatine stores fully saturated, so extra intake can raise them. Once stores become saturated, adding more does not create unlimited energy. Muscle has a finite capacity for creatine. This helps explain why responses differ. People begin supplementation with different baseline creatine levels and muscle stores. People eating little or no meat and fish may consume less creatine, although individual responses still vary between people. Another common myth is that creatine must be taken immediately before training. Timing matters less than daily consistency. Creatine gradually raises muscle stores, so taking it regularly matters more than finding a perfect pre-workout window. For most adults, the commonly studied maintenance dose is about 3 to 5 grams per day taken consistently. A loading phase can raise muscle stores faster, but it is optional and can make early water weight gain more noticeable. Creatine monohydrate is the most researched form, and other forms have not consistently shown better performance in studies. For healthy adults, long-term creatine use is well studied, and evidence does not show kidney damage from appropriate use. Anyone with kidney disease or another medical concern should discuss creatine and supplementation with a qualified health professional. Creatine also does not directly burn body fat. Changes in fat mass still depend on energy balance and your overall plan. So what happened after that first scoop? You supplied a compound your muscles can store and use to help regenerate ATP. With consistent use, muscle creatine rises, intense work is better supported, and training may become more productive over time. The biggest effect is not something you necessarily feel. It is a small biological advantage repeated across many workouts. That is why creatine stands out. Simple biology, extensive research, and practical results point toward the same conclusion.